up, YouTube? It's Pastor Bob. Anyway, I wanted to bring you something a little different today. This is Eagleman Spruce. It's very sought after and it's very expensive getting it in really nice sets. I mean, this is really, really detailed. If I can bring you up, I'll show you how fine the grains are. These make beautiful, beautiful tops and backs. Anyway, I have 2 sets of them. 2 beautiful sets. Very expensive. Not cheap. There's over 300, almost $400 sitting there. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a little while. And this is really special too. This top is a curly flame. It has more curl than flame. But originally, I named it the 3 Demons. If you look up here, this is a beautiful 5A top. Anyway, I want to show you, there's actually 4. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. I mean, probably more than that, but there's 3 predominant ones. I'll bring you guys up a little closer. It's absolutely, the most predominant one is this big one up here. Absolutely beautiful. Probably the only one in the world like that. I don't know. Super, super rare to find something that beautiful. It is really, really nice. So, I've been out here looking at this stuff. You know, I gaze at it. I'm not the type of guy that just racks on it, because I have different sets. But these are, you know, special sets that I look at from time to time when I'm doing my woodworking. So I got to thinking about this. I said, man, you know, to get a guitar done, to auction off before Christmas time, I'm going to be up against the wall here. Because if you can't tell, I have quite a few projects that I'm working on for auctions and to sell during Christmas time. So, I thought, this old Washburn, right? It's a really super nice Washburn. And you can tell it's got a lot of dust on the bottle, right? I mean, she's dusty. Well, the back is beautiful. It's got a beautiful mahogany back on it. Mahogany neck. Well, I thought, you know, what would be nice if I could put a nice Eagleman top on it. Redo the cross bracing on the inside of it. And really deck it out. Because it is, you know, on the top of the line Washburns. I said, and plus, you know, through the different stages I could do, you know, some videos. What I originally was going to do was, if you see where that line is right there, see the line that goes up? I was just going to cut that out, and I was going to splice a piece back in, and then, you know, just redo the banding on the outside, and, or the binding, I mean, and, you know, fix it back up. And I thought, you know, there's a difference in the sound of that top. Just a regular Spruce and Eagleman. I break up a set, but I'm sure along the line sometime I'm going to need the other one, you know, the back for something. So I said to myself, well, you know, I can take one of these and I can make a really super nice top for that. I really don't care for the markers. They're so tiny on it, you know. If you look, I'm a tiny markers, right? I could put some nice markers in it and deck it out a little bit more. It'll be a super nice high-end guitar, you know. And then I'll have an acoustic to bring, maybe for Christmas time. So I'm batting that around in my head to see if I want to do that. You know, I don't know if anybody's looking for an acoustic guitar. You know, it's not going to be expensive, but it'll be under $1,000 when I get done with it. So probably somewhere between $500 and $1,000. Because I have to redo all of the bracing and everything and bridging, and it's just a lot of work. But it'll be a super nice guitar. So you guys tell me what you think I should do. And then I'll weigh it around in my mind and see where I want to go from there. But I thought that would be nice. Be nice to salvage a really nice old guitar and deck it out. Somebody can have a nice guitar. If not, I'll have a really nice guitar for my wall. Because, you know, I don't have too many guitars, right? So, and then I got all kinds of exotic boxes, and I'm going to do some jewelry boxes, and then I got some other things I'm working on I'm not talking about because there's a couple people that'll go ecstatic when they find out that I am doing it. But, yeah, so, you know, I'm working at it. The thing about woodworking that I tell a lot of people when they ask me, because generally the question comes up, why do you got so many projects? Well, when I do woodworking, I do multiple projects at the same time. And my reason for that is because there's different stages in everything that you do. You know, there's not, you know, so I might be gluing on one, I might be sanding on another, I might be cutting the, you know, for plexiglass on another, I may be doing hinges on another. You know, there's all different stages, you know, and then, you know, I could be routing you know, the fret underneath the neck for the fretboard so I can put the truss rods in it. You know, I mean, this is just so many different stages to every different type of wood crafting project that I have. So, that's why, if you ask yourself why I'm doing so many things at one time, that's why. So, if you ever get into woodworking, you'll understand it a little more and why it is what it is. So, if I use this top, I thought, wow, I could take, you know, the scraps off of it because it's so expensive you want to use every piece of this top. If I use it, and I can make something nice out of that too, you know. I can make a shelf, I can make a box out of it. I mean, there's many things that I could do with it. So, you know, I try to use every piece of wood that I can. When you spend a lot of money on wood, you want to get the most out of it. So, I'm batting it around. I am batting it around. Don't know yet. Sometimes repairing things is a lot more difficult than just building it, you know, from scratch. But I'll figure it out. Anyway, I hope you like my video. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do a video of me actually doing some of the parts of it. Sometimes it's very difficult because I do things a little bit differently in my shop than a lot of the other YouTubers. You know, they have fancy equipment and top of the line this and top of the line that. So, you know, look, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I believe that, some of it needs to be done with hand tools and some of it needs to be done with machinery. I try to give as much of, hand tools as possible because there's a difference in the quality, I believe. And I believe also when you're building a guitar, it has a lot to do with sound, right? So what you get out of something just using machines all the time, yeah, it may be quicker, but that doesn't mean it's going to be better. There's things that humans do um, that a machine can't. And so I try to use the wisdom of the master luthier that I learned from in Germany many, many years ago when I'm doing my guitars. Actually, I use it for everything that I do in woodworking. And my grandfather, he was a master woodworker too. In my eyes, he was. He was a perfectionist. Everything had to be right. But being a clocksmith, a repairman like that, and my great grandfather was too. You learn patience, and with patience comes, better quality. And the older I get, the more patience that I'm learning and I'm gaining. When you're young, you're just trying to get it out the door and make the money. And when you get older, it's more about looking at the wood, seeing what you're trying to craft, and how far you want to take it. Sometimes less is more in a project. And if you go overboard and try to take it to that next step, you can end up ruining the project. So I try to always keep that in mind whenever I'm doing anything when it comes to woodworking. You know, there's a balance. And sometimes I don't reach that balance. And the quality of work really has a lot to do with, what I'm doing. If I'm making a small box for somebody and they only have $100, then, I'm not going to put $900 worth of work into it. I mean, it's just, it's not efficient time. But, sometimes for, when I'm doing gifts and things like that, that's a little bit different. Sometimes you put a little bit of touch of love in it, a piece of you that's special that, only you do. And that comes into play when when you're a luthier and you're building a stringed instrument. It's different. And sometimes it's very hard to explain to people. Not every luthier is the same. Every luthier has a little bit of a different touch. One luthier may do one thing with the wood and another one would see something different. So, they have their own little quirky things. And you know what? We can learn from each other. But there's trade secrets that they'll never tell you. They'll tell you the basics of it, but they'll never tell you specific trade secrets. And, that's just the way it is. You have to earn your way to understand those things. Just like, Gunda showed me many years ago. He said, I'm going to show you some things, but I want you to keep it to yourself. And maybe one day when you become good enough and you teach somebody and they earn that right, then you can pass it on to them. And you see a lot of that, I mean, in different cultures. If you look at the Japanese, when the Japanese are making swords, there's trade secrets. And when they take on their apprentices, it takes them years and years and years before they even start to see forging their first sword, sorting out their first rough to make the actual metal. So I like to think of myself as somewhere in between. I am not a master. I am not, how do I want to say this? I'm not the top. I'm not the best. I just, I've been blessed my whole life learning many different things. And from time to time, I like to show people, the different crafts and arts that I've learned over the years. So that way, maybe they choose to challenge themselves one day, and try it. So, anyway, kind of a long video, and I'm sorry if I'm keeping you. But, anyways, think about it. If you have a comment, make a comment about this guitar. Should I put that, a new Eagleman top on it? Let me know. These projects down here are pretty much set, so. Anyways, guys, thank you for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe. Do something good for somebody today. Remember, it's a lot easier to love somebody sometimes than it is to hate them. And, forgiveness, well, it doesn't take much. Sometimes we take on ourselves the burdens of other people, when yet we could have just let it go. So, anyways, like, share, subscribe. And Reverend Bob is out of here. We'll see you soon. Take care now.